My name is Lyndsey Boyer, and I'm the Open Space Manager for Carson City Parks Recreation and Open Space. And I'm super excited and happy to speak with you all this morning about recreation, specifically our department's experience of working through the COVID-19 pandemic to try to continue to offer high quality recreation opportunities for the public as we all navigated this truly unprecedented experience together. So join me on this tour of what we went through in the last year. I'd like to introduce the staff that will be presenting today. So in addition to myself, we will also be hearing from Gregg Berggren, our Trails Coordinator, there on the right. And on the left, we have Tyler Kerver, who is one of our park rangers. So, almost 1 year ago today, state-mandated closures of facilities began in order to ensure the safety of the public in our community. Our department needed to respond rapidly to these facility closures, and we began noticing the facilities with signage like you see here. With the closure of restaurants and bars, movie theaters, and more, trails and nature quickly became one of everyone's primary hobbies. Due to the closures, our trails, trailheads, parks, open space properties, and other public lands experienced unrivaled numbers of visitors this year. The Waterfall Trail in Carson City is extremely popular on an ordinary day, but with COVID-19 we saw a huge spike in the number of users recreating at this site. Staff became concerned about the use in this area, both from a community health perspective, but also from a natural resource perspective, as the waterfall is one of the sources of Carson City's drinking water and a very pristine natural environment. In order to keep the public safe, we worked to implement some mitigation measures by placing signage at the bottom of Kings Canyon Road advising public of the heavy use and to consider alternative trails. Our park ranger, John Costello, even put out a PSA providing the public with information about other trail options in Carson City, just to get the word out that there were other trails available besides the Waterfall Trail. Based on our experience at the Waterfall Trail, we realized that we needed to get some information out to the public about how to recreate safely during the global pandemic, especially in relation to our trails. So one thing that we did working with Carson City Health and Human Services is we put out these hiking tips for social distancing, and we placed these at all of our trailheads. And this just provided some initial information to the public on how to keep yourself and your family and the rest of the public safe while still being able to get out and stay sane while hiking on the trails. Another thing that we implemented, as I mentioned on the previous slide, is we did try to get some information out to the public about a variety of other trails that are wonderful and exciting to utilize in Carson City and maybe are just a little less well loved than the Waterfall Trail and can achieve that social distancing a little bit easier. Now, I think we can all agree that 2020 was an extremely challenging year, and we needed humor wherever we could get it. So here's a few examples of images that we posted to our Facebook to get the word out that while the world may be closed, Carson City trails are still open. So as I mentioned, 2020 was a year where we saw unprecedented use at our trails and trailheads. We had the opportunity to obtain some trail counters that allow us to count the number of pedestrians and bicycle users that are passing through a given area. Unfortunately, we didn't get these until a little later into 2020, but I think this graph really says it all in terms of the amount of users that we've had on our trails. So this was for the Carson River Trail system that's on the east side of Prison Hill, and that is a new trail, so we've seen a lot of use there because it's new, but you can see some of these numbers here, you know, as many as over 4,000 users utilizing the Prison Hill Trail East system just in the month of November. So pretty exciting to get this data. We'll continue to gather this data through time, but it's very telling of the experience that we've had in the past year of managing for this increased use in Carson City. So our department quickly had to rise to these challenges and adapt to these changing use patterns by developing a variety of diverse recreational opportunities and programs, both virtual and live, to provide the public with. So the next few slides here are going to be pictures from our recreation division, and they were actually able to provide a lot of programming throughout COVID-19. Obviously, as different directives changed and different facilities were allowed to reopen, that did dictate how we were moving through the COVID-19 pandemic, but I did want to highlight some of the facilities that we were able to maintain programming at to offer to the public. And so this is one of them, the Multipurpose Athletic Center. Was closed for some portion of early COVID, but then we were able to open it back up and allow for pickleball, and there's also a walking track on the second level there. So these are both really important features for the community and are used on a daily basis. So here we have the pool, which is located over by the community center here in Carson City. This was another facility that was closed for a portion of COVID, but once it was able to reopen, we were very excited to offer this as a resource for the community as well. Another exciting thing that we started this year was providing discs for our disc golf course located on the east side of Carson City. So these discs are located at the Multipurpose Athletic Center and can be checked out or rented for the day to go out and play disc golf. So even if you don't have discs, you can still get out, check it out, and see if it's something that you'd like to invest in. Another thing that's exciting is our recreation division applied for and received a grant through Carson Tahoe Health to purchase a bunch of different recreation equipment to lead some more adventure-based outdoor recreation programs. So using that grant, we were able to purchase snowshoes as well as some kayaks that we plan on using to lead some programs this summer. So this has been a very popular program this winter. We've led several snowshoe hikes thus far, all kind of up in the Tahoe Basin area. So this is just another example of some really cool opportunities that we developed during 2020 to try to get the public out and about and exposed to some different opportunities than they're usually available. Another program that I'd like to highlight that our recreation division put on was a mountain bike camp for kids. So this was just another example of some outdoor recreation opportunities that we were trying to provide the public with and give kids something to do. So this was another really successful program that we were excited to highlight. And so with that, I will turn the presentation over to my colleague Tyler Kerver, our park ranger, and he's going to talk about some of the other programming that our department was able to put together during 2020.
Thanks, Lyndsey. Hey everyone, I'm Tyler Kerver, park ranger for the Carson City Parks Recreation and Open Space Department. So before the pandemic really hit us, the park rangers were leading about 2 to 3 community hikes a month. It was an easier time back then. We were leading large groups on bird walks. We were seeing almost 70 people on our full moon hikes. And we were getting to connect to the community members in ways that we couldn't do otherwise. And then we were told we needed to shut our programs down. That did not stop us though. We were going to educate the community one way or another.
Oh, don't mind us. We're just practicing our social distancing. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ranger Costello.
I'm Ranger Kerver.
We are coming to you live from one of our beautiful open space areas in Carson City, Nevada. We're at Silver Saddle Ranch. Go ahead.
So we're going to be doing a virtual tour rather than an in-person hike, just because of what's happening in our community right now. We expect you guys to come out here after we're done, practice social distancing, and explore these trails. If you haven't been out to Silver Saddle Ranch before, it's a great place to come out.
So we're obviously doing something a little different today. Virtual tour isn't what we normally do, as Ranger Kerver described. So we're not trying to make light of a difficult situation. We just want to take your guys' minds off it for a little bit and go on this virtual tour with us. So let's go.
The programs that we had planned quickly became virtual. Little did we know, our virtual programs would lead to some pretty great educational content.
Hi, I'm Gregg Berggren. I'm the Trails Coordinator for Carson City. It's a crazy time right now. Schools are closed, kids are home, theaters are closed, gyms are closed. So what can you do for your mental and physical health? People ask us all the time, is it safe to go out on the trails? And fortunately, here in Carson City, we have over 8,000 acres of parks, open space, and many miles of trails. And health officials tell us, yes, it is safe to go out on the trails with a few basic precautions.
I'm Ranger Costello, and here are the precautions that you can take while you're out on our trails.
Hi there. My name is Lyndsey and I'm the Senior Natural Resource Specialist for Carson City Parks, Recreation, and Open Space. And since we are not able to run our normally scheduled programming, I wanted to take you guys on a virtual walk with the weeds because it is springtime and we have plants coming up all over the place. And I'm sure you guys are curious about what's coming up in your own yards as well. So I'm out here at the Empire Ranch Trail, and I'm going to take you on a little tour of the plants that we see that are coming up, and I'll give you a sense about how you can treat them if you have these plants growing in your own yard as well. So take a walk with me.
Hi, I'm Gregg Berggren, Trails Coordinator for Carson City, and today we're out here at the 5th Street Trailhead. We're going to be talking about 3 brand new trails that we just opened up in Carson City in the last few weeks. So let's go take a look.
Oh, hey there, how are you? Ranger Gus Moscato here. I'm out at Silver Saddle Ranch today, which is an area that we've gotten a lot of reports of coyote activity in the last couple weeks. I'm here to discuss with you a couple of guidelines on how to conduct yourself when you're hiking or walking in coyote territory. Like I said, I'm out here today at Silver Saddle Ranch, which is 700 acres of Carson City open space just on the east side of Prison Hill. It also happens to be smack in the center of coyote country.
What's going on, Carson City? I'm Ranger Kerver, and today we're going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to take you guys on one of my foot patrols. They really are the coolest part about my job because I get to interact with the community more. I get to find and address issues that I otherwise wouldn't be able to find in my vehicle. And of course, I get to explore and learn more about the area so that I can help you guys if you have questions. So I've got my sanitized hiking gear, I've washed my hands, I got my trash bags, and I'm ready to explore. Let's go. So today we are foot patrolling at East Silver Saddle Ranch, and if you haven't been here before, it's a really beautiful property located directly east of Silver Saddle Ranch on the other side of the river. In fact, if you've walked along the Mexican Ditch Trail, you've probably seen our parking areas. We've just recently blocked off motorized vehicle access along the property, and that's to help to protect the floodplain and create better access for everybody. It's good for fishing, hiking, biking, and whatever you can do without a motorized vehicle. So that's what we're going to do today, is do some exploring, maybe pick up some trash and see what else we can find.
Good morning. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Park Ranger August Moscato. Today we'll be going on a nice nature hike in the Carson River Park area. This is a beautiful riparian zone. We've got all sorts of different flora and fauna. It's been a chilly morning, but things are starting to warm up. So hopefully we'll have a good chance of seeing some beavers, squirrels, maybe even some birds out here. Everything's starting to wake up. Why don't you join me? Down here, one of the species we have is called horsetail. It's a very old species, hasn't changed in a lot of years. And it's not quite a grass, but it's something, oh my gosh, look over there. can see our poop fairies in their natural habitat. Do you think that they really exist? Why don't we go take a look?
Only you can help prevent the spread of coronavirus.
So those were just a couple of minutes from our most popular educational videos over the past year. You can watch all of them on Facebook page or our YouTube channel. So last year we got a visit from the poop fairies. We got to walk with the weeds with Lyndsey Boyer. We got to learn about the coyotes from Ranger Gus. Took a tour of our new trails with Gregg Berggren. And even went on a foot patrol with yours truly. Most of our programs and events had gone virtual. Instagram was also popping with Carson City Trash Challenge to get folks to compete in cleaning up trash while they were out hiking. We placed some characters out in our parks for users to snap selfies with. And Ranger Wood even gave us some helpful information on rattlesnakes. So much content, but there was still something missing. We were missing those priceless interactions and the making of unforgettable memories. Finally, in September, we were back. We got to lead the first full moon hike since March, with a few safety measures in place, of course. Popular activities like our full moon hikes need to be split up into multiple groups, starting 15 minutes apart. All group sizes need to be small, about 10 to 15 people, so everyone can social distance 6 feet apart and the guide doesn't have to yell back 100 feet. Masks are required from the moment you step out of your car to the moment you get back in. We can provide masks if needed. Online registration is now required so we can limit the amount of people that can sign up. And finally, we had to create a specific COVID-19 waiver that participants need to sign when they arrive. This picture is from one of our most recent programs, a park ranger-led tot trot. It's hard to believe that a year ago, the thought of getting the community together to lead a hike was absurd. And now, with proper precautions, we can have these types of interactions again. Now that we can lead these things again and educate the public, we have a bunch of stuff coming up. We have an activity guide coming with programs like Hiker's Ed and Silver Saddle Ranch historical tours. We also have an actual walk with the weeds and even a Carson River eco ride, in which we will be riding our bikes from Morgan Mill to the dam, learning about the Carson River and all its glory, using our new complete trail system, of course. We will also be debuting our new and improved Junior Ranger Adventure Guide that families can work on while exploring this amazing city. And as far as video content goes, we are still pushing them out, with a Share the Trails educational video coming to a screen near you by the end of this month. Thanks for listening, everyone, and I'll hand this over to Gregg.
Hello, everyone. As Lyndsey discussed, COVID-19 has presented land managers with some significant challenges, but it has also given us an opportunity. Throughout these difficult times, many more people have taken to trails to seek public lands. And they found something comforting. They found places of refuge and solace. They found places where they could safely spend time with family. They found places where they could be by themselves, but not feel alone. They found stunning new landscapes that they didn't know existed right outside their front door. They observed wildlife that they may have never seen before. They enjoyed a new sunrise over their city. They learned about the history of their community. They hiked. And they ran. And they rode bicycles, perhaps for the first time in many years. And they shared the trails. And they found new trails. And maybe they felt a new relationship with Mother Nature and gained a new appreciation for our public lands. And hopefully a renewed willingness and desire to protect and preserve these sacred places, like this group who adopted a trail, or this muscle-powered group who built a new trail, or these Boy Scouts
who maintained an old trail. The Carson City Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Department is working diligently to provide new opportunities for our residents. Last year, we constructed the Carson River Prison Hill Trail system seen in these photos. And we enjoyed the ribbon cutting for these new trails on a beautiful Nevada day in 2020. Our staff, with the help of volunteers, is installing trailhead and wayfinding signage throughout our trail system. All of our new signs have a share the trail message and encourage trail etiquette. We are placing new interpretive panels to tell stories and promote understanding. The panel on the left at Ranch Overlook talks about the nearly 5,000 acres of land that Carson City has protected in and around the Carson River and describes the importance of floodplains. The panel on the right talks about sagebrush and its important role in the Great Basin. We've made some safety improvements, like this remake of the Mexican Ditch intake crossing, which was partially funded by CWSD. We are working to improve access for everyone wherever we can. The 5th Street Loop trails were designed to accommodate an adaptive mountain bike, but we neglected to improve the trailhead entrance. It has since been modified. And last year, on National Trails Day, we dedicated a new trail to Mayor Bob before his passing. One last thing, the critical importance of volunteers cannot be overstated. We simply could not do what we do without the help and support of volunteers. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed our presentation.